continuing its massive parabola. It's been clearing all the resistance on the way up, one by one, and it's like a knife in butter already. It's a very impressive move. The next one that we are facing is 8,400. I'm really looking forward to see how the price will react to that, because right now it's like totally vertical. The only way to stop a parabola, I think, and I've spent a lot of time, we can look after at other parabolas. It's basically an animal of its own, and the only way it can stop, I think, if there's a complete blow off in a short squeeze liquidation. So if there is a lot of shorts that have put their stops above this level, we should hopefully get a big wick and then the end of the parabola. Otherwise, it will just continue, and the next level will be 10,000. And yeah, as long as this pattern is intact, we have no reason to think this is the end. Yeah. On the other side, so alts versus BTC have continued their correction. They had some reaction at their bottom this morning on their support. We can see that for if BTC, for example, touched the support, reacted briefly, and made a little bounce of 5%. Not much, but it's still that. Another one that's been doing more bouncing was Ripple. If we look at Ripple here, we also touched the same level that was the floor of August 2018, and we had a pretty decent reaction. Price went up 20%. Now I'm still not bullish alts. They are basically like dead cat bounce type, but as long as Bitcoin is bullish, all the eyes will be on Bitcoin, and as long as Bitcoin moves, alts have no reason really to move. And if Bitcoin were to dump, I don't see how the alts will hold. So right now it's mainly Bitcoin is like the king and pushing everything insanely. It's this is the only thing that matters at this point. Alts could do well if they actually hold their support and Bitcoin were to consolidate for a bit, but usually the end of a parabola doesn't end in a consolidation. There's usually a drastic drop. Can look at some parabola because it's pretty interesting if you have a minute. Sorry. So this one, for example, that was the Nasdaq, so tech index in the US. Okay, there was a couple of bubbles. The most major one was in 1999, the internet bubble, and you can see that same, parabola, complete blow off, and then the price drop following that by 75%. Usually that's how parabola ends, with big drops like that. We had some in other instruments, mainly in like gold and silver. Can look at that historically as well. But spend quite a bit of time looking at parabola overnight and trying to understand, because they thing to know with parabola is they don't react at all like normal charts. Like normal TA doesn't really apply to a parabola. It's actually insane like that, where divergence, levels, all these type of things, doesn't care. And so the idea of a parabola is just buy the dip. And now the most difficult thing is to actually spot a top. And how do you call a top? It's extremely difficult, I think. The only way that I found that could be called the top is if you have a lower high. Let me go back to this top parabola on gold. Yeah, right there. If you have a lower high, about 30 bars, 20 to 30 bars after the top. Okay, so here we made a top. The next high is lower than this previous high, so we're making a lower high, and this lower high is about 20 to 30 bars, so candles, away from this top. And that's the most accurate way I've found to call a top on a parabola. So basically, when you make that, you basically see that the price is consolidating down. After that, you exit in the middle of that in that zone. But until you've reached that, it's just moon mission really. Divergence are all invalidated one after the others. It's yeah, most technical analysis system will not work in environments like that. So let's be careful, and let's not just see the end of that too quickly. Right now, Bitcoin has done a really impressive move. The top that I had in my mind for this move was actually like the top it could go. I was thinking was 8,400, and we're already at 8,000. So it's just been completely nuts, which is great. It completely revert the market structure and the market cycle, and hopefully we'll have alts following up in the next few weeks or months if Bitcoin gives them some room to breathe. What else? Let's have a look at another super solid coin, which is Binance coin. Binance is actually releasing reopening their wallet today at 11 p.m. EST. So overnight, Binance will be doing a maintenance. Trading will be disabled for 8 hours. Withdrawal and deposits disabled for 8 hours as well. And then there will be more of a supply of coins. Right now, Binance is consolidating at its range right there, between these two trend lines. That's where we expect a bounce and potentially continuing up its uptrend versus Bitcoin. What we could expect is if, or not expect, but be careful of, is if Binance reopen its deposits and withdraw tonight, and Bitcoin touches this area, which is the 8,500 I was discussing about, we might see more supply coming through Binance wallets. People basically depositing back their coins to sell them, which might have an impact on the price of all the alts and crypto in general. So that's something I will be very, very attentive to. The other thing that we can look at as well is the dominance index. So Bitcoin has completely exceeded all its previous targets and highs of the year, and actually of last year as well. This is not really relevant because there were no alts at this time, but the next target will be at about 67%. That's where we can see another top in the dominance. Okay, so around this level. So Bitcoin still could go up to all the way here, and alts BTC will still continue to go down potentially for another 7% on average. This week there is the Consensus conference in New York. There's quite a few interesting projects starting. One of which is Polymath. I just discussed that internally. I will not discuss it otherwise, but it's had a bounce yesterday, which unfortunately was very muted and sold off right away. So price kicked off 40% on the announcement of the new Polymesh polymesh blockchain, and actually we broke the low that was made the day before. So yeah, apparently the Poly token will not be used directly for that new chain, or there are some uncertainty into that usage. So that's probably why the market has reacted like that. And yeah, I mean, right now that's it really for today's update. If there is any coin you want me to review, any chart, feel free to drop a comment or send an email to us. We'll be more than happy to take a look and give you our views. Stay safe out there, and thank you for watching. And don't forget that this is just for entertainment purposes only, and this is not financial advice. Thank you.